Hi everybody, so I am out in my yard today about to do some yard work, and I see people in plant groups I belong to all the time ask what this little plant is that is here growing in my yard. People ask if it's lemon balm, they ask if it's other types of mint. I've seen people ask if it's nettles, stinging nettles, but it's none of the above. This plant is Alliaria petiolata, or commonly called garlic mustard. And it is native to Europe and parts of Asia and Northern Africa. It is not native in the US. And it is considered a Class A noxious weed, and is a threat to native species. So we can use this plant as much as we want, because it's not a good thing in our ecosystem here. It is what you call allelopathic. Not great with my scientific pronunciation sometimes. But what that means is that it puts out chemicals into the soil around it that keep native plants from growing and keep mycorrhizal fungi from growing under the soil. And native plants are beneficial, and it keeps away the native fungi mycorrhiza in the soil that are beneficial to our native landscapes. And it's becoming a problem along in the woods. You can see my yard's kind of wooded. It mimics what the woods look like around here in a city environment, but it's pretty commonly found in the woods around here along riverbanks, and it chokes out native plant life and native fungi life. So we really want to get rid of it. You ID it. I don't know if you can kind of look at it and see it, but I'm gonna pull one part of this off and show it to you. This is what it looks like. It has little white flowers up here. The bottom leaves, the leaves alternate. It's got a somewhat hairy stem. It's in the Brassica family. And the bottom leaf shapes are kind of like kidney-like, and they're deeply scalloped. And they get a little pointier and less kidney-like when you go higher on the plant. The leaves are not very hairy. They're pretty smooth, kind of tacky. And the flowers, which I'm gonna try to let you see, it has 4 little teeny tiny dainty white flowers that come in clusters on the top of the plant. And they have 4 little let's see if I can get in the shade somewhere, that they have 4 little petals on them. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe if I go closer down here where the light is not so blown out. But it has 4 little petals on it. So if you think you found it, and I'll show you this one too. At the top of this one, you can see, let me get my shade back on it. The top of this one, you can see that it has these seed pods, and these seed pods are like long, skinny, filament looking things, or stick looking things that surround that little cluster of flowers. Another way to tell is that its root, right where it goes into the soil, its root will either make an L or it'll make an S shape as it goes into the soil. So let me see if I can pull this out and show you what I'm talking about. Again, we don't want this plant in my yard. But see how the root comes down and it makes an L when it goes into the soil. This is very, very common, and I see this. The last way to identify it is that if you take the leaf, pull a leaf off, I'm gonna make sure I bring that seed pod with me. If you pull a leaf off and you crush it really, really good up in your fingers, mince it up, crush it up, press it in your fingers, and you smell it, it'll have a real strong garlic smell. And it actually has a nice spicy, garlicky, oniony flavor too. So I am going to actually use the plant. You can eat it, it's edible. So like I said, use it abundantly because it's invasive, and you don't have to feel guilty using as much of this plant as you want. But so tonight I have some steaks that I'm de-thawing that need to be eaten. They've been in the freezer for a while, and they need to be de-thawed and eaten. So I was gonna cook these steaks into some strips and make a chimichurri sauce with them, for them. And I'm gonna, in my chimichurri sauce, I'm gonna put some parsley from my garden out front, my herb garden out front. And I'm going to put some of this garlic mustard into my chimichurri sauce. I have some in various areas of the yard that I wanna pull out. And I will probably, I don't know, garlic, maybe some cilantro. I think I have some cilantro laying around too. Garlic, mustard, cilantro, and parsley as a chimichurri sauce. But I'll make a video of making that too when I do, and share the recipe with you guys. But yeah, eat your garlic mustard. It can be made into a pesto. It could be made, it could be thrown off the younger leaves. The smaller leaves could be picked off and put into a salad. I would not eat just a salad of this mustard. It'll be a little strong in garlic flavor if you do that. But you could pick off a few leaves here and there and put those into a salad. So yeah, you could put them in, you could add garlic mustard into soups to give it a little onion, garlicky, herby flavor. It's an herb. It's one of the most common spices used in traditional European foods. They eat it a ton over there, but it's native there, so that's okay. Here it's not native, so we're gonna try to eat as much of it as we can and get it out of our forest. Yeah, so I'll post a recipe later of my chimichurri sauce that I make with the garlic mustard, and y'all have a good day.